We all have them in our life. The people who regularly push our buttons, make us feel trapped in this crazy-making dance. The ones who regularly violate our boundaries. It could be a family member or a friend, but it's the person who seems to drain you the most and require you to walk around on eggshells. As Christ followers, this is further complicated by the call to love others and to sacrifice ourselves for others. Isn't that what Jesus meant when he said to carry the cross? And so many of us well-intentioned folks allow all sorts of crazy-making behavior because we think this is what we're supposed to do. But what we don't realize is that we may be reinforcing those button-pushing behaviors. And we may actually be stopping the growth that the Lord intends in their lives. Maybe he's calling us to love with boundaries and to allow our loved ones to feel some of the pain of their poor choices so that they can become the best version of themselves the Lord created them to be. We have to remember that our greatest spiritual lessons are often learned through times of pain and adversity. If we rescue them and stop them from experiencing pain, we could actually be preventing the growth that they need. Now, bear with me as I lay out some of the button-pushing behaviors with a little bit of humor. You'll recognize them by the different names I give them. So, first of all, the leeches. You recognize them by their attitude of entitlement, the message that you're supposed to take care of all their needs. These are the people that you help because you feel compassion for them, but then they keep taking more and more and more. And then when you have nothing left to give, they'll angrily condemn you for abandoning them in their time of need before spitting you out and moving on to another victim to attach to. The biggest indication that they may be a leech is their lack of gratitude for your support. Now, the Donalds, they're the ones who like to use their anger and aggression to demand a response from others. They're the ones who use intimidation and even biblical legalism to fulfill their spirit of entitlement that they deserve your care. Although they come across as strong, they're actually deeply insecure and will take your perceived lack of care as a personal affront. They've also learned that they can only get what they need by pushing their weight around rather than through building trust or relationship. Now, the drama queens or kings are center stage to a lot of constant drama in their lives. These drama queens, they like to take people down with them in their personal drama. But rather than learning from their mistakes, they continually get into one dysfunctional situation or relationship after another. They've learned to almost embrace this drama as part of their identity. And even negative attention is better than no attention. They also unconsciously think that this is the only way that they'll receive care from others. The babies, on the other hand, they're the ones you at first feel sorry for because they're just suffering so greatly from the consequences of their poor decisions, and they seem so repentant, so you bail them out. But they don't ever seem to learn because they keep on repeating the same old patterns of dysfunction. These are the people that the Bible calls fools. The ones you try to help and to mentor, and you spend lots of time trying to help them break free from their immature ways. But then you start to feel like, maybe you're working a little harder than they are to manage the responsibilities of their lives. Finally, one of the most subtle button pushers are the damsels in distress, because they're the ones who most trigger your desire to be their hero. But these victims choose to stay victims, and they communicate to you that they're dependent on you to save them time and time again because they're so helpless. They see life and others as against them, and all they need is someone to come and rescue them. Yet these damsels refuse to do the hard work necessary to grow the resilience and character necessary to cope with the ups and downs of life, to stop being a victim. And by the way, I'm calling them damsels, but they can just as easily be male. Any of these sound familiar? Now, I don't intend any disrespect for the button pushers in your life, as they too are made in the image of God, and they are worthy of redemption and grace. But I'm using humor so that you can recognize the behavior for what it is: unhealthy attempts to manipulate you to get their needs met. It allows you to see more objectively the unhealthy patterns in your loved one, so that you can have the courage and conviction to set healthy boundaries against the dysfunctional behavior. Button pushers need strong boundaries. They need firm and loving consistency. And they need to see that they can't manipulate you. And honestly, sometimes you might have to walk away from button pushers if they won't respect your boundaries. It may be what is necessary if they're unwilling to take responsibility for their dysfunction, no matter what you do or say. If you can't break free from these types of people, consider what's in you that prevents this from happening. Are you a people pleaser? Or do you get your sense of worth from being a caregiver? Are you fearful of their anger and rejection? These button pushers may be in your life to help you break free of unhealthy patterns that hold you back.